Tonight, the results of an investigation into the ongoing abuse scandal at Catholic churches across the nation. Lawmakers in Pennsylvania are making a strong push now to allow victims of Catholic sexual abuse to have their day in court, regardless of when the incident occurred.
Tonight, we're asking the question, should that window be opened? And if so, how does it impact the Erie Catholic Diocese? For the answers, we turn to our Isaac Petcash, who spoke exclusively with attorneys and Bishop Lawrence Persico. Isaac, what did they tell you? Should there be a window opened in Pennsylvania or not?
Oh, Mike and Eva, the answers vary. You know, they all agree, attorneys and the bishop alike, that survivors should have the chance to speak their voice and get justice if speaking their voice is what they're comfortable with. The problem, though, is money. Although attorneys want everything to go to court, Catholic Diocese says that really isn't in the cards if every survivor wants to get what they deserve. New York attorney Steve Boyd has seen hundreds of cases come to his desk since New York opened a window for church abuse survivors to come forward about 2 years ago. He says the frustrating part of the job is telling his clients that in reality, he can only get them paid.
Can't say to the local bishop, give my client's childhood back. That's not a doable thing. Money is a big part of it, but that's all that we are allowed to ask under the Constitution.
But the concern out of the Erie Catholic Diocese is that money is hard to come by. Bishop Lawrence Persico says that if the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania passed a law similar to New York's, the diocese might quickly go bankrupt and have no money to give out should there be a spike in trials.
Whatever the assets that you have that are able to be used, that's it. So there's no more, because, you know, some victims can get a set amount, others may not.
This is where the divide is between attorneys and the church. Boyd attests that churches use high insurance costs as a crutch and an excuse not to go to trial.
Dioceses around the country should really be having a tougher fight with their own insurance companies who charge them millions and millions of dollars in premiums and now are fighting because they don't want to pay the claims.
But Persico says the diocese has proved its ability to pay reparations to survivors. He points to the $16.6 million given through the Independent Survivors Reparation Program as an example.
We have stretched our resources as basically as far as we can go to provide some type of reparation to victim survivors.
I asked the bishop if he would ever consider creating a fund like this again, and he says he would love to, but it's just not possible right now. The church and the diocese in a financially troubling time, and that money simply isn't there right now.
All of the assets that we used are basically, we had to borrow against them to create the fund. So we have to pay off the money that we borrowed.
So despite the differences and the lack of money, Boyd is still pressing for a window to open in Pennsylvania. He says that some of his clients in New York would actually have justice over money, wanting the world to know what they say the church knew all along.
They all knew. But you know, we hear about the police and the blue wall. This was the black wall. They would not turn on another priest because they'd be afraid that that priest would then tell the bishop what they were doing.
Meanwhile, Persico knows that even if a window is created, not every victim will feel comfortable going to court. So he says it's on the diocese to help each victim in any way they can.
There's not one size fits all. It depends on emotionally where the victims are.
Now, we know this proposed legislation has fell behind in the state, particularly because of Kathy Bachfar and the mistake that she made not allowing it to be put to a vote as it wasn't on the agenda a couple of months ago. So as we stand right now, there's still no guarantee if or when a vote will come to the table. But again, both the attorneys and the diocese say they will be waiting for that answer. Live at St. Mark's Center, Isaac Petcash, Erie News Now.